changed my mind though on the Whittaker. I think Pereira starches him. I think he knocks him out. And I
Really?
and I don't even think we end up
So
seeing
let
that
me ask
fight.
you, if
Yeah.
Whittaker was able to get the back of Adesanya, if he's
But
able to take down everyone,
Pereira's got the
what
power though.
happened?
I
But
don't
but
think
the
it's gonna
thing
come
is,
down to it.
uh, we saw Adesanya control Pereira on the ground for
It's not
a
gonna
whole
come.
round.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's gonna come down to that. I think like I don't think
You don't think he'll
Pereira's
even get it there?
I don't think he's gonna shoot right away, Whittaker. I just think he's gonna wait a
He'd be
couple
dumb
minutes.
not to.
I think it's gonna kind of be like what happened with Strickland, honestly. Although
Do you think
Whittaker's a
he's
way
just gonna
better fighter.
stand there like moving forward like
Not
this?
like that. I just think he's gonna get caught like reaching in. I think he's gonna get caught with the
I
left
could
hook.
see it. Like I think I'd give Pereira like a 30% chance to KO him because it could happen. Like if it's on the feet, Whittaker struggles with guys that are really tall and have a long reach. And
Yeah.
of course, if he's getting dropped by Adesanya, who has the same, like he's definitely in more danger with Pereira. I just think that if he does shoot, he's gonna get a takedown. And if he gets his back, it's probably over because Pereira might be like the worst guy on the ground that Whittaker's fought in a long time. And I just think that Whittaker would know I can't strike with this guy. He's a good striker. He's a great striker, but he shouldn't strike with Pereira. And I think if he takes him down, he'll get his back and he'll submit him.
I just don't know
I really
how
think.
if Pereira knows that he's gonna be shooting for takedown. Like I know Pereira's shit grappler and
I don't know
everything.
if he's good enough to stuff them though, because
I
for
just
sure, like he's never faced a wrestler like Whittaker.
He hasn't, but like at the same time, like I think his training with Glover will be enough that like if he's expecting it right away, like he could just do enough just to stuff one takedown and get the knockout before
And
like he
but
comes
but
into
the
the
thing
training.
is, Whittaker might play it safe. And I think so. I think he could get a knockout. I just think like Whittaker took down Izzy. Izzy's really hard to take down. You know what I mean? He's pretty hard to take down. He's been taken down.
Yeah,
It's hard to take down. He took down Yoel Romero. He took down like Jacare. He's taken down a lot of good grapplers.
but he does it also
And
towards the end of the fights too. That's what you got to remember.
that's true. Of course, he took down. That's true, but still, he's still wrestling, and he's just really, really good. And if he can get Izzy's back, if he can get all these guys on the ground, I just think if it's there, Pereira is like fish out of water when he's on the ground. Izzy is not doing what he did to Pereira. I understand that Izzy didn't take him down, that he landed on top when Pereira tried to take him down, but I don't think anyone else you know, I don't think Pereira, if he gets controlled and beat up a little bit by Izzy on the ground, like does he looks any better against Whittaker.
That
I
was
know he was.
good.
Here's the thing: he was a little tired in that round, so I think it's close. I just think if Whittaker gets him down, it's over.
I just don't know if Whittaker can afford to have any striking exchanges with Pereira, though. That's the
He
thing, you know.
probably can't.
Because you know how I think Whittaker's a great striker, like one of the better strikers in UFC for sure. I just think he's got a short reach. He's gonna have to reach in. He's gonna have to expose himself. And I think you can't do that against a guy like Pereira, you know?
True.
I think he's gonna get clipped and put
But
down
I
at
but
the
I also
state.
think it's easier for a guy who's a good wrestler to close the distance than it is for a big striker to land a clean shot. And I think that sure Pereira can land a clean shot, but if you're gonna bet on first 10 seconds, Whitaker's gonna come forward and he's gonna shoot,
What if
and Alex
Pereira gives
Pereira
him
is
a
gonna try
knee?
to throw a flying knee, or he's gonna try to counter with a left hook. I would bet that it's probably easier for Whitaker to just get his hands on Pereira before he gets kneed or hit with a clean shot. I think that that's more likely because
I
we
just
see
don't know
that
if I
more
could
often.
see. I just don't know if I could see Whitaker fighting like that. I've never like, you know what I mean? Like I've never seen him like going in just
Like
shooting like that.
Hamzat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I just can't see it. Like he's just like, and
But the thing is, what do you think about Hamzat and
Pereira.
Pereira?
Oh, I think he does that right away, but I think he's also a lot taller. He's got longer reach than Whitaker. You know what I mean? So
True.
he doesn't need to reach in like that. So I think
I
it's a
just
little
think
bit
Whitaker's
different.
super. I think Whitaker's not going to shoot a sloppy takedown. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he'll shoot a good takedown.
I just can't
Hard to
see
stuff a
him.
like stuffing a takedown is real difficult when you're not a good grappler. And Pereira's not used to stuffing those takedowns. If he misses the flying knee,
Oh, he's
he's
getting
fucked,
taken down. He's
in my
getting taken
opinion.
down. But I don't
And
know.
that's my thing.
I just think that Pereira. I think Whitaker is going to come in there being a little bit cautious and on the feet. And then I think he will shoot in the first 2 minutes, but I think it could be too late, like, and I think it wouldn't be like how Strickland is. I don't think he's gonna walk down Pereira like an idiot. I just think he's gonna kind of just try to slow the fight down a little bit, and then just like maybe not like strike with him like a tiny bit, and then shoot for a takedown. But I don't know if you can afford doing that with him. Like I don't think you can afford any time on your feet with Pereira.
That's true.
Unless you're Adesanya, truly.
Yeah.
Unless you're Adesanya, because I don't think anyone else can match up with him on the feet like that. Or even obviously Adesanya is a worse striker than him, and I don't think he does match up with Pereira on the feet, as we saw in the last fight. But it's he's not going to get knocked out in 2 minutes again, usually, So
I think people are definitely writing him off like unfairly.
Pereira. Yeah, I think so. He just has that left hand, and all he needs, I mean, not all he needs. I mean, wrestling. I mean, if you've not wrestled your whole life and you just start doing it, like you're not going to be as good as these Whittaker. You're not going to be able to really like consistently stuff takedowns from guys like Kamzat, Whittaker, guys like that, even Paulo Costa or Marvin Vittori. But I just don't like. You just can't afford to stand with him in any amount of time, And I think like it's kind of easier to stuff a takedown. It's a lot easier to stuff a takedown to start a fight than it is like after that, like randomly, So I think that Whittaker, I just can't see Whittaker just going out there going all Kamzat, honestly. I think he's gonna go out there, be a little bit cautious, and then try to shoot a takedown. But I think like you just can't wait on this guy, like you can't have any amount of time on the feet with him, especially if you're Whittaker with a short reach. So I think that Pereira is going to knock him out brutally, and I think we
Would
won't
you bet
even.
on it?
Yeah, I would.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, and look,
I'm a big Whittaker guy. Like he's one of
no,
my
no,
he's
so am
top three.
I. I love Whittaker. He's one of my favorite
I
fighters.
just don't I understand. And to be honest, I'm gonna be real. I would root for Whittaker. Like I'm
Dude,
a little bit biased.
Of course I'd root for Whittaker too. I can't see him winning. I just can't see him
Damn.
shooting a takedown
I
in the
understand,
first
man. Like
minute,
Pereira's scary. He's a scary dude. Like he's big. He made Izzy. I was watching that fight back. Like he made Izzy look tiny, dude. Like Izzy's a tall guy, and Pereira's head is like twice the size of Izzy's head. Like he's got a fucking massive dome. He's super big. He's got
He's
a big
strong.
frame. He's strong. Like
that's what I'm saying about the
I
takedowns.
could see him winning. I could see him winning. If I had to bet, I'd probably bet on Whittaker, but I wouldn't write him off completely. If you're going the other way, that's
just think of the size difference on the night of the fight.
It would be big. It'd be a big size difference, but I just trust in Whittaker's wrestling skills. That's it.
I don't know if he's gonna shoot that quick though. I just
even if he doesn't, like Pereira, the only guy who's knocked out that early is Strickland.
Strickland's got a ridiculous chin though.
Strickland's got a good chin, but no one can take the shot that Pereira has to give.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and also he fought like an idiot. Like Pereira's first opponent it was kind of a didn't knock him out that early. His second opponent, Bruno Silva, stood with him for 3 rounds. Izzy, took some of his shots, took some of his right hands. Remember, it's only his left hook and those flying knees that are really crazy dangerous. He's very dangerous. But those are like the nuclear weapons that he has. If he doesn't land that left hook brutally, like, people aren't getting starched within the first minute. I don't look at him like an Ngannou yet. He has serious power in the left hook, but he doesn't have that Ngannou level power to where I'm just like, everyone's fucked, and I would bet on Ngannou 90% of the time.
I don't know. I disagree.
That's how I look at Ngannou versus even like a Cyril Gane. It's hard to bet against Ngannou.
I disagree because I think Pereira is more precise.
Plus, Ngannou has good grappling defense, whereas that's another thing. Yeah, he has really good defense. Where Pereira's been taken down by his first opponent. He's been in a war with Bruno Silva, who has a good chin and who got beat up in the 3rd round. Not Pereira, as Bruno Silva did. But in general, I don't know if I can count Whittaker out, even if he doesn't grapple in the first minute. I think he's gonna wrestle all throughout the fight. I think he's smart enough to like play it safe because he's skilled enough to not go into war. And even if Pereira tries to pressure him, I would all I'm doing is I would just bet on the takedown before the KO. That's it. And
Yeah.
I understand the KO could come. I would just probably bet on the takedown
I
before.
just I just think that Whittaker's style of striking is with these tall guys. Like, I mean, he
Yeah.
doesn't do it against like Vittori because they're similar height and reach.
He gets hit
But
first, usually.
Pereira, when he goes against Izzy, you see him against Izzy, he's reaching in, and I think that ends that's horrible with left hooks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
That
is.
literally is horrible with left hooks.
Izzy's good with the
Izzy
left
landed a
hooks when
left
he's like
hook on
leaning
him.
out.
Izzy
Yeah, he
landed a
did.
left that dropped him in the first round in the
He
first
dropped him
fight.
in this with a
This,
straight right.
the
Oh, you're
second
talking
one,
about the first fight. The first fight, he
first
dropped
fight,
him with a
yeah,
hook.
yeah, the
Yeah.
hook, yeah. So,
I think that's Izzy's best performance ever, by the way.
oh, without a doubt, because he pretty much
Yeah.
knocked him out in the first round, and then he
Yeah.
came back and knocked him out in the second round. So he
Right.
knocked Whittaker out
I think
twice.
that may have been the best Izzy ever. Like,
Honestly,
because
yeah.
I think he's gotten worse since then.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could talk about Izzy all day and why, but like,
He's fought worse fighters since then. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
He fucking
And
lost to Romero too, bro. Straight up.
yeah, I
He
mean,
lost to Yoel.
that was a weird fight. That was a real fight.
It's a
Weird
shit
fight.
fight though.
I would say I would rewatch it to make sure, but I just do
I
not
would
want to
not.
touch
Yeah,
that
don't
fight.
rewatch it.
You
Just
know?
rewatch the highlights, and that's
Yeah,
pretty much all that's worth.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or every strike landed. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I just think that I think that Whittaker does struggle against these tall guys, these tall long guys. And if you do think about it though, how many when Israel Adesanya fought Whittaker the first time, how many years out of kickboxing was he? He was like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Pereira's 2 years going to be 2 years from his last kickboxing
Yeah. I
fight
mean, he's
at that
still
point.
a really good kickboxer.
So like what I'm saying is that he's only getting better in the grappling, and I think he just needs to stuff one takedown early, and I think he would submit him.
How
No,
old
not
is
not
Robert
submit him,
Whittaker?
to KO him. I think he's 30. He's younger than Adesanya. I think he's 32. Let me check. Robert Whittaker. And I do think Whittaker is still getting better. That's the tricky thing about it, though.
He's 32. Yeah. He just
32.
turned 32 in December.
So he's young
So
still.
he's still pretty young. And like, I think Whittaker's in his prime right now. Like, because he seems to have gotten better. You know, obviously, he got destroyed in his first fight with Adesanya. He arguably won the second fight with Adesanya. And he's basically beat everyone that he's fought since he lost. Like, you can make the argument that he's never lost since losing to Izzy. And he still, even before the Izzy fight, was a guy who had monstrous wins, like over Yoel twice. Like the dude has, my bad, the dude has so many good wins in his career. I think he's getting better, and I think that yeah, sure, you know, Pereira's a better kickboxer than Izzy. I don't think Whittaker outstrikes him. I don't give Whittaker a chance to ever outstrike Pereira, even though he's a really good striker. Of course, he has issues with guys that are really tall and lanky, and not lanky, but you know, have a long reach. I just think that I trust his wrestling. Like I really think he's like one of the best wrestlers in the UFC.
But
So
also you got to remember about Whittaker. Like, yeah, he's a good wrestler, but he hasn't shown submission skills. Every fight starts on the feet. Every round starts on the feet. What if Whittaker keeps him down for pretty much the whole first round? Second round is still starting on the feet. You know, like
I would have to see something new, because what I've seen from Alex Pereira, I haven't been impressed at all when I've seen him on the ground. Whereas the guys that Whittaker has taken down, like Izzy, like Marvin, like these guys, they're somewhat good enough on the ground to get up to their feet. Like they're known.
I mean,
to
Darren
be able
Till.
to-
What about Darren
Darren
Till?
Darren Till, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Whenever he's
But
been on the ground,
I think
gotten
that was a
submitted.
different Darren Till. I think that Darren Till was probably better than the Darren Till that fought recently. And
Yeah, but
either
I mean,
way,
against Woodley too, he got submitted. You
that's
know,
a good point.
The
That's
only
a good
time,
point.
like
Whittaker doesn't. You're right. I think Whittaker's improved since then, and I think that his grappling has probably gotten even better. And if he gets the same positions that he got on Izzy, I think he's gonna keep him there. You know, I think that Whittaker, and he showed big improvements, because when he took Gastelum down, who's also a decent grappler, he took Gastelum down in their fight multiple times and actually held him there and put on some good ground and pound. So I have seen him improve a little bit since taking Darren Till down. I have seen the improvements, and I bet if he's gonna have a training camp for Pereira, more than 70% of that training camp is gonna be about jujitsu, like just going for submissions, because his wrestling, he can get him there. His striking, in my opinion, is good enough for him to at least survive before getting the takedown. And I think that his whole focus would be the jujitsu game. And Whittaker, he's a black belt, I think. I know he hasn't submitted anyone, but I trust him. Pereira looked terrible on the
Yeah,
ground
that
against
was
Izzy.
pathetic. But also, you got to remember, Izzy and Pereira are similar heights and
But
stuff
but
like
but
that. So I think,
the thing is, like, Whittaker could take down anyone, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, he could, but like when he took down
Whittaker could take down
Adesanya,
Ngannou, bro. Just joking.
when he took down Adesanya, that was the third round.
True.
You know,
True.
like I just don't know if he's gonna shoot right away. And I think like you need to,
It's
and
a
I think
close fight. It's a close. You're
I
convincing
I
me that it's a closer fight than I
like
think.
I want Whitaker to win. I want to think that Whitaker is gonna
You
win
should put
because
money on Pereira
I
and then
probably, but that, yeah, because then if
that's a
Whitaker
great
wins,
thing to
I'm
do.
being,
Putting money on the guy the favorite that you don't want to win.
but you think he's gonna
Like
win.
if it'd be great to bet on Islam. So well, it'd be kind of stupid to bet on Islam
Yeah, or the odds are kind of,
because the
but
odds are terrible.
Pereira versus Whitaker, the odds are gonna be pretty close. I'm assuming. I'm sure
Yeah,
Whitaker will be like a slight favorite,
dude, I
but
wonder if Pereira's going to be the favorite against Izzy.
I
He better be the
against he
favorite.
should. I mean, they're not gonna fight. By the way, I don't think they're gonna fight because I feel like when there's rematches and stuff, immediate rematches especially, right after the fights, you hear buzz about when the next fight's gonna come. And with all, especially when you would think with all the talking that
Pereira seems like a guy that's going to take long layoffs, unfortunately.
oh, dude, because he's weight cuts. He takes huge weight cuts, makes huge weight cuts. So I think he's a guy who'd fight twice a year, which is still, I'll take that 2 fights a year from a champ. That's better than most of these champs at this point. But no, he's kind of like an Aljamain Sterling, a guy, one of the guys who cuts a lot of weight. But I think Pereira, I mean, I don't think they're gonna book the Izzy fight, and I really hope that they don't because I just, dude, honestly, I don't really care to see it. As much as it would be nice to see Pereira knock Izzy out again, I don't think I'm not out. I just we already know the outcome. You know what I mean? Like we kind of just know the outcome, like we talked about with Islam versus Volk and most of Islam's fights in the future. Like we know the outcome. I think Whitaker Pereira, we don't know the outcome that's what makes it super exciting. We don't know if Whitaker is going to shoot. We don't know how long Whitaker could be on the feet with Pereira. Like so that fight's way more intriguing to me than whatever Izzy versus Pereira. Even though I wouldn't be upset, I wouldn't. But I just think that Izzy wouldn't be doing himself any favors by taking that rematch because like
Yeah.
I don't know how the outcome will be any different. I just don't. And I just think that like I don't know what he would be doing to himself. He's better off fighting someone in the top 5, top 6 and just getting a win, getting some confidence back and then fighting for the belt because I don't know if Pereira is going to have the belt at that point. So you may be better off with that if you're Adesanya or even just winning another fight and then retiring. He's accomplished so much in his career. Like why like put it all down the drain just to try to beat this guy, like I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm hoping that the UFC books that next. Pereira versus Whitaker. Perhaps on the Perth